Welcome to Flosstube number 40. It is the end of September and we are now properly in autumn. And I love autumn. I just love it. I am enjoying my sweater, my comfy Saturday sweater. I am enjoying my wintry socks. I love it. I could have autumn all the time, especially today because the sun is still out. And it's a lovely sort of crisp morning, but it is cold and that's perfect. So we are enjoying that. And I have a full Flosstube for you today. It has been about 4 weeks, I think, since my last time. I have whips, new starts, fully finishes, a finish. I have Stitchy kindness, some purchases. I have a giveaway winner and I have a new giveaway. And then I have two kinds of stitching. So those of you who are new here, first of all, thank you very much for tuning in and I do appreciate that. Secondly, I do cross stitching. I do make a lot of different kinds of things. So I hope there's something you'll enjoy. And I also do haute couture embroidery. So that is a course I'm doing. I'm very much a beginner, but I'm very much enjoying it. And I usually just show what I've been making and what I've been doing. So all of that for today. We basically have a bit of everything. It's a very old-fashioned, everything in it Flosstube, which I love, those are the best ones, I think. I will start with my cup, and I will start with saying that this community is fabulous. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in, for being a part of this. I so love going on Flosstube and just meeting people that I've never met in real life, but I feel like I'm meeting friends. People are so kind to one another. I've received quite a lot of shout outs lately. People who've been mentioning my podcast. The latest one was with Kerry, that was fabulous. She is very knowledgeable. She is a dyer, and it's very interesting to get a little peek into what that means and what she is doing. So yeah, a lot of people have been shouting me out, and I just want to say thank you very much for that. And I hope for those of you who are watching my Flosstube, I hope you just go round Flosstube on YouTube and just see what is out there that you might like, because there's so many different ones of us. And I think it's Sarah from Sew Me Sarah. She always says, well, if you don't like me, you'll find someone else you'll like. And that's so true because we all do different things. We stitch different things. I sometimes even use it for there are certain pieces I don't want to stitch, but I love them. So I watch people who stitch that, some people who stitch a mirabilia or a very big sampler, or I just follow their progress and it just feels like I'm included in it. So yeah, I just want to thank the community for being kind and welcoming and open and all of that. So thank you. Let's start with what I always start with, which is my teacup, and I just poured the tea already. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful. It is a nameless teacup and it is stunning. It is usually the nameless ones are slightly more subdued, if you will, but this one is very floral and very, there's lots going on there. It's very pretty. It's sort of a soft pink with brown leaves, and it's just such an interesting color combination. Makes me want to stitch something in it. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, I love that. As you can see, I've already put some pumpkins out there, and that one that's still hanging on the wall is back in season because that's an autumn piece. It's been hanging there all the time. Having said that, my moon deer and my own reproduction that again has received shout outs and people said, oh, I love it. People who like my Etsy shop because they can't wait for it to come out. I have brought them to het Garenhuis and we picked frames and they are going to frame it for me. So that is being done. And my reproduction is out next week, coming coming Wednesday, I think. So I cannot wait. I am so pleased that the day is nearly there, that all my arrangements and tax stuff is all organized. And from the date of the 1st of October, I can start doing what I do. And I love that. So it will be out on Wednesday. If you're interested, you can like my Etsy shop and you will get a notification that it's out. I will also make sure I have an Instagram post for it, just for those people who need a little reminder or, you know. But it's a lovely pattern, and for those of you who will start working on it, I hope you'll love it as much as I have done, and I hope you will feel how much I've loved it. I've loved it in the pattern. So yeah, there's that. Right. Let's start with some stitching, shall we? This is a fully finish. When I'm at work, what I do is that I have a laptop and then I walk around university. I work for University of Applied Sciences. I'm a project manager. And I walk around with my laptop and I have everything sort of stacked on it. So I have my phone and my mouse and a pen and a notebook and it just sort of I have to balance it. So often things fall on the floor. Um, and I was so fed up with it and I thought, well, how am I going to fix that? And then I remembered this one and I made it into a book sleeve because my machine cannot do zippers. I can't do zippers, but my machine definitely can't. And so I've made a book sleeve and I've made a book sleeve out of this lovely pattern. It's been a while since I've stitched this, but I did remember it. And I thought, I loved that pattern. I loved making this one. Let's make it into something. So I made it into a lovely book sleeve with blue and beautiful sort of mustard yellow. Stunning, isn't it? So I now stuff everything in this and I lay that on the top of my laptop. And that's how I walk around now. And when I sit down and I put this on the table, people go, oh, did you make that? So then we have a lovely conversation. And I can share the love of needlework with my colleagues. And they are very kind. I have lovely colleagues. So they're very supportive. They all watch pictures of the things that I make and they say, oh, that's very nice. Men and women alike. So people are very supportive of what I'm doing. And that's very nice. So yes, this is all done now and I can use it. And I love that. And these book sleeves I use a lot anyway, because I write down my prayers. I've said that before. So I have one of these that I put a notebook in and a pen and then a book that I read for before I do my prayer writing. And so when I go out to town and I go and have a cup of coffee, I take something like this with me with all of that in there. So I use these anyway. And I find them very, very practical and handy. So I can recommend, and they're easy to make. So if you're not a good sewer or you don't have a good machine, this any machine will be able to do this. So you can still make pretty things. And then, oh, this has a nice story attached to it. I was at work and I was to meet another project manager to discuss whatever we had to discuss together. But then she is a sewer and she sews lunch boxes and lunch bags and big bags and everything. But what she does is that she goes to sort of craft markets and she sells her stuff on craft markets. And she said, oh, I've got one coming up at the end of November. Why don't you put some cross stitch on the table? And I thought that's a good idea. So I am now trying to think, what can I put on that table that is fun, that I would like to sell, that sort of is just pretty and has a good finish. Now I have plenty of pieces that I finish in frames, But those of you who've watched me for longer know that my back is not sellable because I just tape it. And yeah, I need to learn to properly finish it if I want to sell my framed pieces. But there are a few things that I do that have a beautiful finish, and one is the biscornus, so I'm making a few more biscornus. And another one is my little Christmas hangers. So this I made yesterday, and I finished it with a piece of paper on the back. And these are not big, but these are perfect for the timing as well because it's the end of November. So that'll be perfect. And this is a Shannon Christine design. I've made it before, you've seen it before. Uh, and it's part of the regular club, not the Christmas club, but a regular club. And also, I don't know if it's still there because I'm no longer a member of it. So I don't know if she does take off certain designs once in a while. But this one is one of my favorites that she's made. And it fits perfectly and it's just so cute. So I stitched this one on an 18 count. And these ones I will sell. I have more. I have also with Renato Parolin sort of a snowy houses kind of scene. I have the penguins from Shannon Christine. So yeah, I'll be making a few more. So I have sort of like I can make a Christmas tree layout with it, and I'll make pictures and I'll show you. But yeah, I hope it will do well. I don't have to make millions, obviously, but it'll be nice if people can buy something handmade. And I can't keep everything anyway, because I live quite small and I don't want my cross stitching to sort of clutter up everything. So I am quite happy to work towards something like this. I think that's great. So this one and others I will sell. And I love that. I might even sell my Christmas tablecloth that I made, which is very pretty, but I don't really use it. So I might give that a good iron first. That comes first. And then I might want to sell that one too. Anyway, then we move to our cup of tea. Let's start with that. Terrible color coordination, mind you, but I love these Saturdays when it's cold and autumny, and I love this sweater. It is, you have those clothes that you can live in it. This is one of them. Last time I showed you this one. This was a freebie. It is no longer, well, for those who are part of the monthly newsletter, this was a freebie. You can now buy it as well on their website, Primrose Cottage. So that was the first one, and now I've made a companion piece because this is a whole line. They have a whole line of bee stuff, and I made the honeybees and stitching please and loved it. Loved it. I was stitching on this one, and I went to Ghent to 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 the het Garenhuis, do some cross stitch shopping, and leave my pieces for framing. And I took this one with me, and I think it was about 3 o'clock. And just in the nick of time, I found this lovely tea shop and tea place. So I sat down to have a cup of tea, and the weather was dreadful. It was dark suddenly, and it was raining, and there was lightning and thunder. And because we had to stay indoors for quite a while because it was dreadful, I decided to just stitch in the t-shirt. I've never done that before, but I thought, why not? I have to sit there anyway. So, and I stitched on this, and it's a lovely memory that comes with it. And these are so cute, aren't they? There are many more. I'm considering to make many more, uh, and then I'll see what I'll do with it. I haven't finished them yet. They could be great pillows, but I think I decided to just stitch a few more and then see what I'll do with it. I have made quite a lot of mistakes in this one, I have to be honest, because the honey should have been a lighter color honey like it was here. And I think letters were a bit one to the side. It's just, I fudged all of it. And I don't think you can see it. Isn't this just sweet? I stitched on 18 count. I think this is off-white. And it's just cute. This one was stitched with the sort of the light blue is a variegated. I think it's sea foam. Don't know who that's from. This one I did with a regular DMC because I don't have that much sea foam left. And I decided it's not worth it because it's fine with regular DMC. And so I have made some other color changes just because I didn't have in stash, but it's nearly as it should be. So isn't that lovely? I think they're so cute. I like Primrose Cottage and their work. I think it's fantastic. Right. Like I said, I went to het Garenhuis. And what does one do there? One buys everything. I bought this one because I think I've earned this title. How pretty is that? Needleworker by Little House Needleworks. Oh, and there was someone who received, I don't think it was a giveaway. I think it was when I did my whips, my whip parade, and I decided to discontinue a few things. There was one, I think a bothy thread, 14 count. And she contacted me and she said, "Oh, if you're not going to continue that one, could I have that one?" And I said, "Sure." So I just sent it her way, and she was kind enough to leave me quite a hefty a gift card with Garenhuis. And so I showed up and I had a gift card to spend. And again, it was way more than that piece of fabric was worth. So thank you very much. And I have loved shopping. And this is a gift that I received from you. And I love stitching it. I have not purchased all the floss that goes with it because all of it is over dyed. Instead, I've just gone with what I have in stash. But I love this design. I think it's so neat. And like I said, I think I've earned it. I think I can earn the title of needleworker by now. And I am stitching the word needleworker with sable. Don't remember who that's from. I'm terrible, but you can always leave a comment and ask me, and I will reply to you in the next 2 weeks. And you can also leave me an email if that's easy for you, and I will reply to that as well. And I really like this. I think it will be quite classy when it's done. This is the fabric that I showed last time at XG Designs, and I think this is called Old Sheep, and it's beautiful. And the sable is darker than the needle worker on the pattern, which is more of a brown. I really like the look of this brown. So I'll just continue that. This is a green, it doesn't really show up green. And then it's cranberry. So all of it I've done with over dyes still, except for the needle, that's a DMC. But other than that, it's all over dyed. But it's just from my stash because I have it and I just want to use it. And like I said, this is a lovely design. I take this with me to work. And when I have a break that is actually a break, I might want to stitch something. And it's easy to stitch. And it's lovely. And this is a 20 count. 20 count, one strand of floss. Now this, I'm sorry, I should have prepared this properly. I just have to find the pattern. It's another Little House Needleworks that I have loved for quite a while. And that is Peace on Earth. We all know how the world is at the moment. There is very little peace, I'm afraid. And so I wanted to remind myself that this is what we're aiming for. Peace on earth. Now I have started this, love it. And also with this one, I have reached in my stash. So I will not use all the colors that are on here. This is the red 20 count Ada that I've also used for Teresa Colgate, which you can see a little bit of over there. So it's a sort of it has a reddish hue to it. And oh, let's turn that right one round. I am not sure about the white. You can see I've stitched a little bit of white underneath here and a little bit here. And it is that's the only one I did purchase. It is eggshell from Classic Colorworks. So I did get that one because I thought, oh, that's the main color. I'll just get that one. But I find it looks a bit dirty. It doesn't look like snowy white to me. So I might take it out and start with a brighter white than this. I do love this design. I think it is so sweet. It's not as big as I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a lot, but it's not that bad. And I will enjoy this, but I have to figure out what kind of white I'm going to use because especially in person, it sort of looks, it just looks dirty, like really dirty snow. And we don't want that. So I have to make a decision on that and just go for it. We'll get there. Then, my first reproduction is going to be out in October, 1st of October, and I cannot wait. But I'm starting a second reproduction. Well, I have started a second reproduction. This is a reproduction by Georgine. Well, it's a reproduction by me, but the original I found on an antiques market, Georgine Derminet, and it is beautiful. It is crocheted around the borders. I will see if I can have a picture I can show you. It is stunning. It's quite big. It has 4 alphabets on there and then some writing and a border. And I just went for it, and I just have this one lying around, and I once in a while I do 2 letters or 3 letters, and I just keep going, and I am well over, well, not well over, I'm over 50%. And I'm so proud. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. This is stitched on 20 count vintage country mocha Ada. And I am stitching it with Schoolhouse Red by the Gentle Art. And it is just beautiful. I am stitching it before I am publishing the pattern, because I have made a few little mistakes in the mock-up of the design, so I just want to make sure it's okay. And then once I've stitched it, and I'm aiming for November for this one, so this one I hope to bring out in November, so all of you can enjoy it as a Christmas present. Wouldn't that be lovely? It's so, so beautiful. And then this is where the community comes in, by the way. I just received an email from a lovely lady from Canada. And she said, I do crochet, and the specific crochet that is the border of the original one. And she said, I would be quite happy to see if we can make it work. So I was blown away. Someone just offers that. And yesterday I sent specifications and size and everything and extra pictures so she can have a good look at it and see if she could reproduce that bit of the original. And I would love that. I would love to have a crochet border around it as the original. But like I said, I cannot do it. But isn't it fantastic that this community then someone pops up and says, well, maybe I can do it. And I think that's fabulous. So I hope we can work something out and it can happen. I still haven't found anything out about Georgina Dermine. They're not getting back to me, so that's a shame. But I just love this one. This alphabet, right up my street. I just love all the curls and everything. So yeah, I'll just keep going. It is not a difficult design. It is easy, but I do want to stitch the full thing before I put it out as a pattern. And I think this fabric choice is great as well. I stitch it on 20 count with 1 strand of floss. Yeah. Love it. So that's another one to look forward to a month later. And then it will be quiet from me for a little bit with new patterns because I've started on the backrest of the sofa, but I need some more focus time for that. So probably my autumn holiday, I might do some then. And once this one's finished, I will put my full focus on that one. So that will take a bit of time again, but it will be beautiful. I have no doubt. This is my lovely butterfly. This is not a design it's more blocky than I normally do, but I really enjoy it because it's easy, and especially when I'm tired, this is the one I grab to. The colors are different than I would choose probably, but I'm really enjoying it, so why not? I've done this bit and I will continue with the other side. I do think that once the flowers are being stitched, this whole thing gets a very different look because now it's quite red and black, whereas the flowers are very orangey. So I think the whole thing will just shift, which is very suitable for butterflies, isn't it? Yeah, lovely. I'm stitching this on an 18 count with 2 strands of just DMC as charted. Yeah, very pretty. Then I worked a lot on Jacob's piece. This is on the wings of a dove or something like that. Oh, my needle minder. Where is my needle minder? This needle minder was also a gift. It was the most perfect gift. It is a teacup needle minder. That is just perfect for me. But look at this beautiful pattern. Stunning. I'm stitching this with cream swadelge on 20 count taupe, I think. And it is beautiful, beautiful to stitch. I am working on this one over here. So that is going to be the sort of the end of the width of this design. I worked on the beautiful dove in the middle and only have a little bit of the wing to do. And as you can see, right, I've just gone just around the corner. But this is a lovely, lovely pattern, and I can recommend it to anyone if you want to make this. It's very common, and what I do find interesting is that the border does not feel repetitive, and I don't know why, because it is repetitive. It doesn't feel like that at all. So it's just been a joy to stitch this. And if I was retired, it takes a bit of time yet, but if I was retired, I would stitch on this every day for about an hour, just because it's so stunning and it's so fun. The coverage is lovely with this. Like I said, it's Swadelge. I think it's 4102. And on this fabric, it looks white. and it isn't. It's slightly yellowish, but it looks white. Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So enjoyed that one. Then we have a littler one. This one I started last time. This is from a designer from Groningen, which is where I'm from originally. And so I thought I'll just see if I enjoy that. It's very enjoyable to stitch, and I just like this design very much. It's like a fox, well, not like a fox, it is a fox, and I have worked a little bit up here, then I worked all the way over here, and then I filled in all this orangey for the tail. And this will be a lovely, lovely piece when it's finished. It feels like autumny, probably because of these colors, but it feels very autumny. And I really enjoy it. It's very different from anything else that I stitch. This was also a gift to me from Margaret. So yeah, I've been gifted many things. Isn't that lovely? And this was a while ago. I've had this one for a while now. But yeah, I love this design. It is also on an 18 count with 2 strands of floss. And I use all the called for DMC. Very, very pretty. And as you can see, um, it's not confetti stitching, so it's quite easy, and you still get a lovely, lovely look. So yeah, happy with that design. Let me just get a sip of my tea. Then we have, oh, I can use the little one, with another gifted needle minder, also from Margaret. But it fits my bullfrog floss that I use for my Owl Forest embroidery, because this is Owl Forest embroidery and this is the Hunter's Memories or something like that. I'm not stitching the hunter, I'm stitching woodland animals. Um, but this is where I am at the moment. I've done quite a bit on this one. I did 2 sections more on the fence, and then I sort of continued all this here. So I just worked on different things. This is lovely to stitch. Lovely to stitch. It's on off-white. Is it? No, it's ivory. Sorry, it's ivory. Ada 20 count. And I stitch it with bullfrog and tatanka. Is that something by Weeks Direct? It's a dark brown. And my moon deer, which is also my owl forest, my previous owl forest, I did a full conversion for those who don't know, and this is gonna fit perfectly with that. I checked. Isn't that lovely? I think it's beautiful too. These designs are so stunning. Candelabra is lovely, but all the motifs are just very, very pretty. I think I've decided, because I've also started another one by Owl Forest in the same colors as my moon deer. I think I will leave that one until this one is finished, so that I can focus on a piece. But this one is going quite quickly, I have to be honest. It's an E because this is the middle. This is the middle of the piece. Beautiful. Love this one. 2 more. This one is called Keep Calm and Cross Stitch by Croquette Crochet à Gogo. And I love this piece. I bought it from het Garenhuis. I do it as a paper pattern. I love paper patterns actually. At first I felt it was just easier to go with my app, what's it called, Pattern Keeper. But I'm trying to use my phone less, and I'm trying to take some of the principles from slow living. So if I have my phone with my design, it's very easy to also check for messages or everything. So when I really want to do a bit of slow living, I grab a piece that has a paper pattern. That's what I find. And this is one of them. So I did this whole section. So I finished basically all of this and then the border. So I did quite a lot of it. There are supposed to be 7 mouse heads sort of floating there. I'm leaving those out. For now, I haven't decided on what to put there, so I've left it open. But I love these colors. They're so soft and sweet. And this is the width of it. So I'm now going up. And this is a sampler that you can also stitch in separate sections and pillows and whatnot. But I'm stitching the whole thing. That's the idea. And this is on 20 count with 1 strand, and I'm using all the cord for, I think it's all DMC. Love this. Absolutely love this. Yeah, it feels such like an accomplishment when you've finished a little thing. That's the good part of this. And like I said, there's not a lot of colors in it, but the color scheme is very pretty. And it makes it feel like there are a lot of colors in it. Which is not the case. And then this is sort of a finish, a sub finish. This is Faith, Hope and Love, and this is designed by Summer House Stitchworks, I think. And there are 3, and you can stitch them separately and make them as pillows, or you can frame them, obviously. But I decided to put them all together, and I decided to change the colors. And I don't have the pattern of Faith here at the moment. But I have finished these, Love and Hope. So I did the full row all the way up here to finish Hope. Isn't that pretty? I love that. If you're interested in a color conversion, just leave a comment and I will get back to you, or send an email and I will let you know. It's DMC, so I'm using 3 colors of DMC, 2 greens, 1 pink. And it's just lovely. Not because I didn't like the other one, but as you can see, my house is very green, so it's easier to have a green. The funny thing is though that my full set of Royal Alberts, so there's one that I collect fully. That one's blue. Isn't that interesting? I haven't gone for a green design. Anyway, it is what it is. I love this one. I love this one. I found it difficult to get through this part at the top, and it took quite a long time to do it. But I think the Hope one is my least favorite. So I loved this one. Still do. I think this one goes perfectly in the middle, and then Faith is a bit busier again. So yeah, love it. And I'm very happy that I'm putting them together on one piece of fabric. I stitch it on 18 count, white, off-white, not sure. I think regular white. And I stitch it with 2 strands of floss. So some people ask me, on 18 count, I almost always stitch with 2 strands. On 20 count, I stitch with 1. On 16 count, I stitch with 2. Always. I got another gift, and I should have shown this last time, and I didn't, because I just forgotten. I had sent my magic needle kit autumn to someone. That was a giveaway from my whip parade. And she sent me this card, and this is a technique of embroidery that I have done also for a very long time. Her mother made it, and I love this kind of stitching. I've done it for a very long time myself. I think it's very delicate, very pretty. There you go. So thank you very much for sending this. Thank your mother for making it. It has been sitting on my little shelf ever since I received it. It's just lovely. And also, you know, there's a lot of work has gone into this because this takes a lot of time. These cards make a lot of time, take a lot of time. So I appreciate it. And it's lovely to receive real post. That's another thing. I've started writing letters with my slow living bit. So I've written letters to my family and I love that. And my mum has written one back. I love that. And I'm going to collect those letters and keep them safe because it's just lovely. So yeah, I've bought proper letter writing paper. So yeah, I can make it something pretty and then I send it away. And I think it is much more honest and real than all the AI related things that we do at the moment. I'm looking at my phone. I'm not suddenly disinterested because I'm going to announce the winner. These were gifted to me and as a giveaway by a lovely viewer, and they are Petit Moment de l'hiver, and then they are for all the seasons. And they also come in a Dutch. Not sure if they come in an English one. Let me just check. Not sure. But you could easily chart that, just so you can have it down there. Oh yeah, this one has autumn. Yeah, so it probably comes in 3 languages. The winner of this, because I have drawn a winner, is Purple Hau. I am not sure if that's how I'm supposed to say it, but I will put it on the screen and you can make of it what you will. You are a winner. Congratulations. So please send me an email. My email is in the description box and you can send me an email to let me know that you've won. And I will send it to you. Obviously, you have to share your address to make sure that you're happy to do that. And I will then post it to you probably next weekend. So when I'm working, I try not to do anything other than working so that when I have my weekends and my long weekends now, because I have an extra day off, I can really focus on everything stitchy. So yeah, let me know. Purple Paul. Oh, these names every time. We all struggle with it. I have another giveaway. This one I've made. I haven't fully finished it, but I have made them. And I think it's very sweet and very pretty. And this was a gift by a viewer. I think this was that massive gift that I got from Australia. And there's so much in there, so many goodies. And this one I loved. The Anjou pairs. It has these 3 patterns and an explanation of how you finish it as pairs. And I think they are just so sweet. And I think I've made that one and that one. I've left the alphabet out. But I think they are just lovely. So this is the new giveaway. And if you are interested in this, just leave the word pairs. And it's from Annie B's art, folk art. She has a lot of these pairs, I think. She also has them in different colors, with obviously different designs. They're very pretty. And I loved these colors, very autumny. And I think I received a beautiful, beautiful floss with it, fire or something. And it was just so autumny. So yes, this is my new giveaway, pairs. And you can leave that in the comment box and I go through that. And we'll pick a winner. Right, I did a little bit more shopping. This was another one I got from het Gagenhuis, the blue flower. And this is a spring quail. I won't make this until spring, but I think this is a very lovely spring design. And I have quite a few of these bright blue fabrics. I never know what to do with it. I thought this is perfect. Perfect. So it'll be a lovely spring design. And there's 3 designs actually in there. There's this one, you can make the biscornu, and then you have the pillow. Then Couleur d'étoile. This is one that I have seen stitched several times now when I go to het Garenhuis. And every time I think, oh, that one's pretty. What bothers me is the ecru on white. So I have to see if I can either change the ecru to another color or change the white to another color. So we'll have to see. This could actually perfectly be stitched on smoky blue. Smoky blue. Zweigart. Oh, I might have to look at that in a minute. That'd be lovely. Because that's also the color you use sort of in there. I'm actually going to put this aside. So I have to look at that because I think that might fit. I also, like I said, I did my interview with Carrie from Roxy Flosco, and I've never used Roxy Flosco, but I'd heard a lot about it, and especially Jacob said it was his absolute favorite. And obviously, I'd been watching Carrie on Flosstube, and I enjoyed it very much. And I thought, let's see what she makes. These flosses, I just picked 3 colors. They are so saturated in color that I love that. I didn't pick these colors because I thought they went well together, but I could make some biscornus with these. That was my idea. And just see if I liked the colors. Excuse me. Like I said, they are so saturated. This is Delft. I love Delft. This is, just check, Cabernet. And the pink is Piggy Bank. I just think they are stunning. And like I said, they are so saturated. There is a variegation, but it is subtle and very, very pretty. So yeah, I love the fabric just from seeing them. I haven't worked with them yet, but just from seeing them, I think they are stunning. And they are soft and they feel thick, which usually is a sign of good quality. So yeah, happy with that. I can only recommend just try it once and see if you like it. Just like we do with a Gentle Art and a Week's Diaries. But like Week's Diaries always feels a bit thin. But this one feels different. That's my very professional review of that. And I also got 3 of her fabrics. So she also does 20 count Ada. And I only work on Ada. So I got 3 of them. I got, I think, Buttercup. Yes. So that's that one. It's slightly more yellow than I imagine myself stitching on. But I'm sure at some point the right design will come along. But it is also more yellow than you see on the screen. This one is porcelain. I love this one. It is not white. It is not off-white. It is not ivory. It has, I don't know what it is. It's porcelain. And I really like it. What I like also about hers is that the modeling is, if there is modeling, it is subtle. This one doesn't have much modeling. And I like that. I don't want a very modeled piece of fabric. And this one is Speculaas, which I don't know. Sorry, I've got. I don't know if you are known with Sinterklaas, which is a Dutch party that we have on the 5th of December. And already everything that you eat towards it is in the stores. And Speculaas is very important. And it's a lovely color. I love this color. I think it's beautiful. This would go very, very well indeed to that. That'd be lovely. We'll see what I can do with that. that is all my cross stitching. But we haven't finished yet, but I haven't finished yet. If you are quite happy to leave the haute couture embroidery for what it is, then I thank you very much for watching. But I would like to show those who are interested the things I have been doing on that. So I'm just gonna pause it for a second so that I can move over to there, and I hold the camera for that, so you don't see me anymore. I hold the camera to show you what I've been doing. So I'll be back in a second. Back again at my little stitchy board. First of all, some more stitchy kindness, because this again was a gift from someone who received a giveaway from me, which was Mirabilia's Summer Queen. And she gave me this lovely little card, which is, I love flowers, so that's always a winner. But then she also gave me this fantastic needle minder. Now this lady is sat at a board that is similar to the one I'm having here. So I feel very, very related to this woman, and I just love it. And it's very big. It's quite a big needle minder, which is great because for this kind of needlework, I need so many different kinds of needles, and I can stick them all on there, and it's lovely. So thank you very much for that gift, and it is now part of this whole setup. So what I've been doing, and the assignment was, the first assignment, the other one I'll be doing today and tomorrow, is to stitch one of these, but stitch it twice. So as you can see, the patterns are very different from cross stitch and way more easily drawn. It will come out when you're stitching it kind of idea. I chose the twig. I might do the bird at a later stage. So this was my first twig. So this is the autumn piece. And for size, this is my hand. I have a small hand anyway. So it's not big. And this is my autumn one. So what I used for this, obviously, is the tube beads. But this is chenille thread. This is raffia thread, which I love. I'm in love with raffia. And then some, obviously, regular beads and sequins here and there. And I love this one. I love autumn anyway, but I think this has come out beautifully. I did think that the colors were slightly different to one another, but when you see them together, they sort of mold together. But yeah, I love this one. Absolutely love it. And so all of this you do with a tambour needle, which is this one. It doesn't fit on my needle minder, but it is this one. And things like the raffia and everything and the beads is sometimes if I work them on top of there, I use one of these needles. So there's a lot more variety to get your design finished. And then obviously I had to do it twice, and the idea was to do it differently. And so I moved to Spring Apple Blossom. And I am so proud of this one. All these paillettes or sequins, sorry, that's the English word. They come out so beautifully, and it really looks like apple blossom to me. I did silk shading for all the leaves, which I think turned out really nicely. Again, it is quite small. It's much smaller than my hand. A little bit of chenille. This is a very thin chenille, so it's a different chenille than the other one. And it just turned out so lovely. So I'm very proud. So this is two different ones from the same design. And I loved the assignment. So the next thing we'll have to do is now this is worked on organza. Lovely fabric. I've fallen in love with organza. It's strong and it's perfect. But now we have to make flowers with only beads and sequins, and you work that on tulle. So I purchased a stack of tulle, as you do, I did the skin colored and I did a peachy one. And I put that on my board over there. You can see here I'm trying to figure out what to use for it. And that is the board that will make the flowers on. So I could also do that on this big one, but I have plenty of space left here, so I might want to make something else there before I take it off, because otherwise it's a waste of fabric. And we don't like wasting fabric, do we? So that's what I will be doing there. And I can't wait because I have to pick which beads and stuff to use. Now, the thing is, I'm not for just purchasing willy-nilly everything that you can find. But if you start doing this, you do have to invest in it. So I have been purchasing quite a lot of beads and different kinds of beads, different colors, different material, so that you can make good good color combinations. So as you can see here, this is a box filled with different beads of all kinds of colors, and these are all material that you would use for haute couture. So I buy this in France and I buy this in Lithuania, and they are beautiful. Many different kinds. This is a beautiful pinkish one. I bought the Bordeaux red one because I think that's very pretty. Some sew-on stones. So yeah, this is an investment, which if you really want to learn this, you're gonna have to do that. And it is expensive if you count it all up. But in essence, this doesn't, one of these strands is, what is it, €2, something like that, and you have 1,000 of these in there. And as you can see over here, I don't use 1,000. I use just a couple of that. So they last a long time, at least for these small assignments. So yeah, I'm very, very happy indeed with what I've been doing here, and I can't wait to start my flowers over there. And you'll see that next time, obviously. And we are back here just to say goodbye to you, because that was my Flosstube. And it was my 40th Flosstube. I am very proud of that, to have reached that milestone. I enjoy my Flosstubes this whole week. I was looking forward to doing one. So yeah, it's become a nice part of my life, and I enjoy it very much. And I also enjoy branching out, trying new things, learning new things. I hope you enjoy watching that. And not because you all want to do it, but it's nice to learn about different kinds of needlework and different ways of putting threads and fabric together. So I've had a good time with you this morning. It is now 10 o'clock and I will sort out my laundry. Also needs doing. And then we'll see what I'll do today. It's going to be a quiet day today, and I look forward to that. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe. All of that helps to move the channel along, and I appreciate it. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.